to the Adventist Information Network. I am Natalia Nancis. Thank you for joining us for our 2023 Year in Review. Here in Trinidad and Tobago, particularly across Tobago, where we reflect on the incredible moments, milestones, and stories that shaped the year. We will revisit some of those headline-making moments over the next half hour. We start with news of celebration. Amidst the backdrop of 2023 within the Seventh-day Adventist community in Tobago, two churches honored their deep-rooted histories. The Zion Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church celebrated a remarkable 60-year journey, while Moriah Seventh-day Adventist Church, standing tall in its century-long legacy, celebrated a poignant 100th year marked by spiritual dedication. Both congregations embraced a series of activities and collective appreciation for the narratives that have shaped their spiritual landscapes throughout the years. Here's more in this story.
The Moriah SDA Church commemoration of its 100th year and rededication ceremony was a resounding testament to the power of faith and community. Beginning with a vibrant song service that welcomed current and former members, both in person and online, the event was a reunion steeped in warmth and inclusivity. The performance by a young descendant on the national instrument added a touch of legacy to the celebration. First Elder Dalton Beard's reflective presentation on the Beautifications Project progress underscored the dedication to enhancing the church environment. The gathering filled to capacity resonated with the shared sentiments as dignitaries and the congregation joined in singing the theme song, "We Have Come This Far by Faith." The rededication service was a poignant affair, where Sister Stewart delivered a reflective piece highlighting the church's rich history and its integral role within the community. Dr. Tobago, president of the Caribbean Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, delivered a moving sermon emphasizing the importance of faith, fellowship, and service. The rededication wasn't merely about the physical building, but a renewal of their commitment to community service and spreading God's love. The renovated church now stands as a symbol of congregation unity and devotion. The unveiling of a time capsule chronicling the church's origin to the rededication date added a historical touch to the celebration, encapsulating the church's journey over a century. Meanwhile, at Zion Hill Bell Garden SDA Church, a month-long array of activities culminated in a Sabbath service filled with favor and anticipation. The pinnacle of this celebratory period was reached as Dr. Tobago, president of the South Caribbean Conference, delivered an impactful sermon. His words resonated deeply with the congregation, marking a fitting conclusion to a month long with spiritual enlightenment and communal joy. I am Biana Brebner for AIN News.
Switching gears a bit, during the period January 20th to February 4th, 2023, ASI Tobago chapter held its 16th annual convention at the Good News Seventh-day Adventist Church. This dynamic gathering had the presence of three distinguished keynote speakers, each bringing their unique expertise and insights to the forefront of their sermons, captivating the audience and enriching the convention's vibrant atmosphere. Dr. Oscar Ocho, Director of the University of the West Indies School of Nursing, Director of Stewardship and Trust Services, Caribbean Union Conference, Pastor Gandalal Simlal Singh, and President of the East Caribbean Conference, Pastor Anthony Hall, together brought to the congregation the theme, Gospel Warning, Character Change. From Despair to Hope, an answered prayer that defies the odds. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine presented a renovated government quarters to Miss Lydia Robinson and her 8 grandchildren. Miss Robinson, a devoted grandmother, found herself with the incredible responsibility of caring for her 8 beloved grandchildren after the tragic loss of their mother, who was also her daughter. This project was collaborated with the Division of Settlements, Division of Infrastructure, and ASI. More in this story.
During a town hall meeting in Scarborough, Lydia Robinson pleaded with Chief Secretary Farley Augustine to fulfill earlier promise of providing her with a home to take care of her 8 grandchildren.
It was earlier this year that I was visited by Miss Robinson and their friend of hers and Sister Nurse, and that's when I learned about the unfortunate circumstance. Mommy died, the mother of children died during COVID, during an emergency C-section, leaving behind 8 orphaned children with her grandmother.
Robinson relies solely on her pension to support her grandchildren. She managed to make it work, but it reached a point where providing shelter became challenging.
Everyone who gets a pension knows what the pension is, and at the time she wasn't in receipt of any sort of subvention or state support for the children, because she's still trying to work out getting the children legally over to her guardianship at that time.
In light of the challenging circumstance, an aged government quarters, though requiring refurbishment, became accessible. The current THA Executive Council sanctioned the needed renovation through the Homeowners Equal Program, managed by the Division of Settlements, in order to provide a home for this family.
And here we had a property, one of the old government quarters, in a serious state of disrepair, and just there wasting away. And there's a family in urgent need. The best thing to do was to provide housing for this family. We started a program called the Owners Equal Program out of the Division of Settlement, and we decided that we will filter this into the overarching program and ensure that this family is provided with a place to stay.
The Executive Council, which provided assistance with legal provisions, not only ensured the family's immediate presence but also secured a stable future for them.
If anything should happen to Miss Robinson, given her age, that the children can't continue to live here, and that the children will be able to have a roof over their head for the future. So we are about changing lives, not just for today, but for the future, changing lives, changing generations, moving from poverty to generational wealth, and a home is an integral part of that.
Meanwhile, the president of the ASI Tobago chapter, Diamond Andrews, said, "We have eagerly awaited this moment for Sister Lydia Robinson and her grandchildren."
This is what we have been waiting for a long time, for Sister Lydia Robinson and her family, her grandchildren to be exact. And this is the day of the handing over, and we are really, really appreciative of what has happened.
Robinson expressed her heartfelt gratitude for the newly renovated home she received.
Receiving this house today, it is a dream come true. I've been talking to God since about 6 or 7 years now, by using one text in the scriptures. Foxes have holes, birds have their nests, the Son of Man didn't have nowhere to lay his head, as he had said unto the disciples. But I used it in my prayer actually every day. Foxes have holes, birds have their nests in the air, but Lydia and her grandchildren have nowhere to lay her head. So grateful and thankful unto Almighty God for using Dr. Farley for coming up with the idea of giving me this place that he has repaired in such a lovely way.
Brianna Brebner, AIN News.
With the tagline, "I am here for a blessing and I need it right now," Calder Hall experienced an unforgettable adventure of faith, friendship, and fervor at the recent Youth Crusade. Bursting with energy and enthusiasm, our gathering became a hub of inspiration and excitement. From electrifying messages to heart-to-heart conversations, it was a time of growth, empowerment, and building unbreakable bonds. Let's reminisce about the incredible moments and the transformative impact of our time together. Here's more in this story.
Pastor Marvin Smith, radiating with vitality and vigor, led an extended evangelistic series at Calder Hall, positioned just opposite the field. Throughout this month-long endeavor, a multitude of individuals found solace in accepting the Lord and openly sharing their personal testimonies. Each evening, the members eagerly echoed Pastor Smith's nightly mantra, "I am here for a blessing and I need it right now," in anticipation of the evening's sermon. From the youngest to the oldest, individuals of all ages wholeheartedly embraced the message of the Lord. Despite the warm weather and sporadic showers, the members continued to attend with unwavering enthusiasm, particularly during the summer festival lunches. The evangelistic series drew a substantial number of visitors, enticing them with nightly giveaways. The singing evangelist serenaded our hearts with her melodious voice each night. Overall, the month-long evangelistic series was a blessing to all in attendance. Following the impactful youth crusade, a new church emerged, born from the fervor and dedication of its attendees. With passionate individuals that were inspired by the crusade, all these persons came together to form the core congregation. Their shared vision and commitment to faith laid the foundation of this new chapter, uniting to create a vibrant community eager to continue the spiritual journey ignited at the crusade. This is Kadisha Kirk for AIN News.
A momentous occasion in the Moriah community for the ordination of a dedicated leader. Stay tuned for an exclusive glimpse into this ceremony.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Makes you feel unsafe, shout, run, or tell. If someone touches your private parts,
it doesn't matter who it is. Tell.
If someone shows their private parts,
it doesn't matter who it is. Tell. Keep telling until someone believes you.
Protect yourself.
Keep telling until someone believes you.
Protect yourself.
Do not be afraid. I am your God. I will help you.
Protect yourself.
A message from the Caribbean Union Conference Children and Adolescents Ministries.
I am special, this is my body. You don't have the right to hurt me. I am special, this is my body. You don't have the right to hurt me. You can't break me down. You can't break me down. You can't break me down. You can't break me down.
God is my helper. God is my defender. A message from the Caribbean Union Conference Children and Adolescents Ministries.
This holiday season, ignite joy and kindness with Ayatpa Bookstore's end of year clearance sale with up to 70% discount. Shop now and save big on your favorite books. You are sure to find something for everyone. Spread joy, share kindness with your family, friends, co-workers, and even strangers this season with help books, children books, Bibles, devotionals, and much more. Visit our locations at Ayatpa Bookstore, St. Augustine, San Fernando, Port of Spain, and Scarborough, Tobago. Join the celebration of kindness and knowledge at Ayatpa Bookstore. See you there.
Network. Welcome back to the Adventist Information Network. The echoes of hymns and the whispered amens, Pastor Bevon Benjamin took his place in the spotlight at the Moriah Seventh-day Adventist Church for his ordination ceremony on 21st October 2023. This auspicious event not only marked a significant milestone in the life of the newly ordained pastor, but also added an extra sprinkle to the sacred proceedings. Pastor Benjamin's journey to ordination showed that wit and wisdom are a divine duo, making his ascent to ordained status an uplifting blend. More in this story.
Family, friends, and congruents gathered at the Moriah Seventh-day Adventist Church to witness the ordination of Pastor Bevon Benjamin. The ceremony was filled with prayers, hymns, and words of wisdom from senior pastors. Bevon Benjamin, a native of Moriah and a dedicated Seventh-day Adventist, has devoted his life to serving God and the church. He is highly respected and admired for his faith, compassion, and wisdom. During the ordination sermon, Dr. Tobago, president of the Caribbean Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, expressed his gratitude for seeing a third generation of the Benjamin family being ordained. He emphasized that God chooses ordinary people and transforms them, and Bevon had answered God's call. The ordination signifies a holy calling, whether as a prophet, priest, or king, with holiness as its core offering for a better future. The act of commitment ceremony was presided over by several dignitaries. President of the Caribbean Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Dr. Tobago, Pastor Amrod Williams, Ministerial Secretary of the Caribbean Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, President of the Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventists, Pastor Vishnu Pasal, and the Executive Secretary of the Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventists, Pastor Martin Cunningham, encouraging Bevon to continue spreading the message of faith, hope, and love to all. The charge of the ordination was offered by Pastor Amrod Williams, and the ordination scroll was presented by Dr. Tobago. The Moriah SDA Church, a spiritual beacon in the community, continues its legacy with Bevon Benjamin's ordination, ensuring that the Seventh-day Adventist teachings will persist within the congregation and the broader community. After the ceremony, the congregation expressed their unity and support, showering Bevon with blessings and well wishes. His ordination is a testament to the strong and vibrant community that Moriah SDA Church has nurtured over the years. As Bevon begins his journey as an ordained pastor, he carries with him the hope and aspiration, pledging allegiance to lead with unwavering faith and a deep commitment to Seventh-day Adventist principles. I am Bianna Brebner for AIN News.
The anguish of losing everything to a fire is profoundly distressing. This is unfortunately the reality for a family of 10 as their home in the Palm Eagles Drive along Tobago Local Road in Crown Point went up in flames. They are now grappling with uncertainty as well as the way forward. Velma Trim Jackson, who has vision problems and a member of the Bonaccord SDA Church, was asleep when someone forcefully banged on her front door of her apartment upstairs shouting, "Get out, there is a fire." Trim Jackson and her other 9 family members of the 2-story residential building remained unaware of the fire's cause and were unable to salvage any belongings. With 3 main buildings on the premises, one was a 2-story residential property and it was completely destroyed. The second served as an assembly with a restaurant and bar, while the third consisted of apartments, all 3 owned by Velma Trim Jackson and her son Errol Drake. According to the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, Tobago Divisional Head, approximately 2 individuals lost their jobs, but 10 persons have been spared from injuries and are without a roof over their heads. The 2-story property, home to Trim Jackson and her family, incurred an estimated $1 million in damages. For those willing to help the family, please call 339-4440. Stay with us for historic declaration in the Adventist community of Tobago.
Imagine a community of people from all over the world working towards bettering themselves and those around them. A community grounded in faith and morals, positivity, and love. This is what you discover when you drive through the Maracas Valley and find our main campus hidden in the mountains or any of our 5 satellite sites spread throughout the region. From our intimate classroom settings where first-rate teachers offer a unique and caring learning experience, utilizing modern and progressive teaching styles and technology to hands-on developmental programs that accompany these courses. Real-world experience abounds through our simulation labs, practicum, and internship programs. Not only do we lead in the depth of quality of our programs, but we also bring value to the region. Such is the case with our occupational therapy program. This master's program just happens to be the only one in the English-speaking Caribbean. This particular program continues to develop exponentially as we recently revamped our simulation training lab alongside the Digicel Foundation as we continue to grow in our capacity to really prepare our budding practitioners to really impact lives. The Department of Music continues to ring out among the masses as it grows and matures into one of the region's most engaging and comprehensive programs. The department continually offers students the opportunity to develop their craft, often on behalf of worthy causes, with regular tours both nationally and internationally, competitions, and impactful programs. There's always something to do in the music department. Our nurses continue to be in high demand, and with the highest pass rate in the region, we're not surprised. As we grow and develop hands-on training between classes, advanced labs, and simulation environments, this program continues to be one of the most competitive around. At USC, we love to celebrate the diversity of our community and the true width of flavors seen at our annual International Students Week. Here, each territory joins together to showcase their individual countries as a cultural village, much like the global village we're all part of. These activities display the real beauty that our campus holds as a vibrant and diverse collective. With robust online and face-to-face platforms, we continue to serve students through adversity and challenging times, integrating the values of quality and holistic education. With God on our side, we look forward to many more years of service to the world, grooming and developing men and women of all ages to take up the mantle and carry us all beyond excellence.
Visit Terrific Ideas for that terrific idea in educational resources, arts and craft, music supplies, charts, games, flashcards, workbooks, acrylics, oil paints, sketching, painting pads, brushes, canvases, panels, craft material, music accessories, and so much more. Find us on Facebook. We're open Monday to Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Contact 639-1224. Terrific Ideas for all your educational, arts and craft and music supplies.
Ushered in more than a gathering, it launched a new era. Dignitaries and guests convened for a transformative two-day mission session themed Finishing the Work, Reflect, Refocus, Refuel, marking a shift from mission to conference for greater impact. The session commenced with meticulous procedures, including quorum certification and insights from past Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventist presidents. Set for strategic discussions, it embodied aspirations for Tobago Mission's future. Meanwhile, to conclude the week-long activities, celebrating 160 years as an SDA organization and 2 decades as Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventist, the Tobago Conference of SDA emerged at Shore Park Cultural Complex. In a grand affair, 31 churches, 3 companies, and 2 groups united, symbolizing the journey to conference status and introducing officers for the new era. Here's more in this story.
Field representatives, past president, delegates, and well-wishers were welcome at the opening of the inaugural mission session. The Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Farley Augustine, delivered the feature address highlighting the church's impact on his life and Tobago's community. He emphasized supporting church leadership during societal challenges, underlining its ongoing role in shaping Tobago's future and acknowledging the church's significant contribution.
The role of the church is still very relevant today. In fact, I would say it's even more relevant today than it was in the early 90s when I was growing up in the church. Because the challenges we face as a community today is perhaps manifested tenfold. But the power of our God remains constant. It remains constant. And I believe that God's church is in good hands. I believe God's church is in good hands. And sometimes as a church community, we are very critical, extremely critical of our leadership.
Augustine said, while considering the journey that led us to the mission 20 years ago, let's remember our purpose isn't merely to achieve conference status. We have a mission to accomplish.
And I want you to think about what it took for us to get to this place. But know that the goal is not to just become a conference, because we have a work to finish. And the finishing of that work, even as we reflect, as we refocus, and as we refuel, the finishing of that work is to see if we can convert the entire island of Tobago so that this entire island will be ready for his second coming.
The pivotal moment arrived with the declaration from the president of the Inter-American Division of a status change from mission to conference, a new trajectory for the mission, sparking anticipation and favor among attendees.
The Inter-American Division Committee recognizes and grants the status of conference of this organization.
Moreover, a moment of pride enveloped the gathering as the plaque was unveiled that Tobago is now a conference.
Seventh-day Adventist Church. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, to the glory and to the honor and glory of God, the Tobago Conference of Seventh-day Adventists was declared by Dr. Ellie Henry, President of Inter-American Division, November 20, 2023. That's today, ladies and gentlemen. That's today.
To culminate the week-long activities and to reflect, refocus, and refuel, The Sabbath program commenced with an energizing song service, resonating the theme song "We Have Come This Far by Faith." The program unfolded beautifully, featuring a dynamic panel interview delving into the history of Tobago mission of SDA, with each speaker passing the baton through the phases of their story. The inverse lesson took a captivating turn, delivered in spoken word style to engage the young at heart. Following the lesson review, a touching moment arrived as gifts were presented to the Tobago Conference of SDA. Gracelyn Elliott King from the Rogers Avenue SDA Church in Brooklyn, New York, Pastor Exton Clark from the Guyana Conference, and Pastor Leslie Moses from the South Caribbean Conference shared in this heartfelt gesture. The service continued with additional singing, introduction of platform personnel and dignitaries. Pastor Guno Emmanuelson conducted the scripture reading, complemented by a captivating performance from the Tobago Conference of SDA Mass Choir. After various preliminaries, Dr. Leonard Johnson, the Executive Secretary of the Inter-American Division, delivered an empowering exhortation titled Restructured for Mission. Dr. Samuel Telemack then led a consecration prayer. The evening's pinnacle included Dr. Kern Tobias, President of the Caribbean Union Conference, delivering a powerful sermon. The service also featured the introduction of officers and directors of the Tobago Conference of SDA. A litany read by Dr. Leonard Johnson, the Executive Secretary of the Inter-American Division. The charge and signing of the directors was also included, and Pastor Vishnu Prasad, President of the Tobago Conference of SDA, presented the vision. The closing gratitude was expressed by the three administrators. I am Biana Brebner for AIN News.
Thank you for joining us in our 2023 Year in Review, for trusting us to bring you the news. It truly was a year of trials and triumphs, but despite it all, we are knocking on the door of yet another year from all of us here at the AIN News team. We wish you a happy new year. I am Natalia Nances. Have a good night.